Hi, I'm David Dunzel, and I'm here to help you use AI to improve your English. Basically, how to write effective prompts using ChatGPT to help you with pronunciation, fluency, and overall communication. So, what we'll be looking at today is words that are difficult for you, how to break them down into small parts, and then how to use AI to write good quality prompts to help you create your own AI language coach. Okay, let's jump in. Today, you can use any tool. We are just using ChatGPT today, but you can use any tool. So if you have a different tool that you prefer, please use that. And everything you learn from today, you can use that for different tools. So what I've suggested for today, we're going to look at speaking, pronunciation, and natural communication as sort of the structure of today. But in the 4-week course that we do, then we'll cover a lot more areas. So let's jump into it. So we use AI basically as our personal language coach. So can someone react, put your hand up or jump on the video if you have used a language tutor or a language coach? Let me see a show of hands. Yeah? Okay. So in the chat, I would like you to type what was great, one thing that's great, and one thing that was just not so helpful using either a language coach or a tutor. So for example, some people might say, "Oh, tutor, I only see them once a week." Or something that was really good was I got personal correction for my English. So in the chat, please just put something good and something not so good about a coach or a language coach or a tutor. And this just gives me an idea what's important to you as well. For me, any tutor that I have, could they give personal feedback? Amazing. Once a week or a bit expensive. Yeah, busy parent. Yeah, good. Okay. So already some of the things, good time was that I have some time to speak with. Yeah, totally. And any other ideas that people think of, please just pop them in there too. Yeah, that's it. I agree, Donna. Yeah, once a week is just not enough. Cool. Okay. So a lot of similar themes here. And basically, the power of using AI as your language coach is not to replace the human interaction. So this using AI, some people feel like, oh, it's going to take away people connecting with people. I have to totally disagree. For me as a teacher and also as an educator, I'm connecting with my students more. And even though I'm using AI more, but I'm using AI very specifically. I want it to help me write better, write easier. I want to do role play and practice so I can use my time effectively. So what we've got looking at today in terms of pronunciation, we're going to look at how to create a prompt to help you work on tricky words, using text to speech to hear and mimic correct words, also practicing conversations. So one of the really useful techniques language teachers use is role play or a script where the teacher reads or other students read and you practice together. So I'm going to show you how to use AI to create your own script to practice in your own time. Also, getting corrections instantly. We'll look at a couple of prompts like that. All right. So everything that I'm sharing here, I will also share with you as a free download after the session. We'll basically spend about 20 minutes playing with different prompts. And then also, I would like your ideas on things that you are trying to improve right now. So we'll do that a little bit later. Okay. So if we look at this prompt here, how do I pronounce the word enthusiastic? Who in the chat does it? Just give me an idea if you're comfortable with that word, enthusiastic. Thumbs up if you're okay. Thumbs down if, oh my goodness, how do I say enthusiastic? The TH, this sound. Yeah, nice. Crying. Yeah, okay, totally. All right. So we're going to jump onto ChatGPT and in the chat, just give me other words that are really tricky like this. So just type the word. Don't have to put a full sentence. Just give me a word that for you, it's your omchon hating word. Sustainability. Okay, nice. Entrepreneurs. Yeah, great. It's a tricky one. Feel free to take notes while you're watching this as well. But like I said, I'll share all of these prompts with you in the free download after the session. So one of the first things that we do with a tool like this, we have to give it some context. So I'm learning English and I'm having trouble with these words. Now, what do we want? We want to improve the way we say it. So we need to ask the tool to give us some techniques or some ideas. How can I improve those sounds? So I'll show you some examples, and there are many ways to do this. So we want to be nice and specific. Give me some different ways to practice these words. Okay, so I'm just going to use the words that you gave me. And some of the words that you gave me. Yeah. All right, let's go to the chat. We've got sustainability, entrepreneurs. Any other words that come to mind? Wood and wood, yeah, nice. Oh, it's horrible, especially for Korean mouth, that the ooh and squeezing it and yeah. Neanderthal, that's an interesting one. Is that what you call your husband or you have to learn that word at school? Wolf. Oh, okay. All right, great. So let's work with that. Wolf is a really tricky one. Yeah, totally I agree, Jin. Wolf sounds like woof, like a wang wang, like the dog sound if we don't squeeze it. Oh, Woolworths. Oh my goodness. Perfect. For those that are in Australia, if you know this company, Woolworths, it's like 3 years of pain for Korean parents. So then they stop shopping at Woolworths, they just go to Coles. All right, so let's have a look. Okay. Now, please bear in mind these words are very different. They're very unique. But let's have a look at how the tool will try to break it down for us. Beautiful. And straight away, it tells you, let's break it down. How we're going to use it in a sentence. Homophone practice. Listen and repeat. Games and quizzes. Tongue twisters. And visual practice. Okay. So that took about 5 seconds. If you compare these ideas And in a second, we're going to test how useful they are. But if you compare these ideas to how long it will take you to find in grammar in use, how long it will take for your tutor to get you an answer to these, how long it will take you to search in Google to find any of this, we just did it together in less than 2 minutes. You gave me the words, I put the prompt, and here are some ideas. So what we are doing now is we and you are driving your learning experience. So let's say, for example, Wood and Woolworths are fine for you, but entrepreneur, sustainability, that's tricky. So now we just practice the words that we're looking at. So breaking them down into the syllables, sustainability, entrepreneurs, Neanderthal. We might like to practice like that. But a useful technique that an English teacher will say is, yeah, give me the phonetic pronunciation of those words. Now, when you pick up your dictionary, you might see these type of characters where like the E is upside down, it looks like an I, there's a three with two dots for entrepreneur. When you look in the dictionary, so I'll just highlight like this here, you'll see it like that. So now straight away using this one AI tool, you've got the word list that you're trying to work on. Now you have the phonetic pronunciation, so you know how those different sounds appear in other words. Sustainability. And if you listen to where I stress, see that little marker here? We'll just highlight it there. There's your first pronunciation, sustainability. Sustainability. Yeah, so before the B, we have another small stress, sustainability. If we look at the next one, also, because I'm Australian, I'll typically use British English, so entrepreneur, entrepreneur, whereas the American one, it changes slightly where there's more R, entrepreneur, there's a lot more R for the American style of English. And that's why you see it in both styles. The American one for entrepreneur has that R, that stronger bite. And then we're just finishing with a Z sound because of the S, entrepreneurs. Now let's say that wood is the tricky one for us. And we go, wood. Oh, what's this? Like a U with the squeeze looks like a little bit like a horseshoe. Okay. Now you are in charge of what we do next. Give me 5 words with a with this sound. And you go, okay, oh wow, book and wolf or wolf or wood is the book. Because for some people saying book, especially for Korean and Japanese speakers, this sound, actually you know it, but you know it with other words, fine. Look, book, no problem. But then you're like wood, and then all of a sudden your mouth and your lips are not your friend. But actually, it's exactly the same. So what we can do now is go, oh my goodness, book is a book, ooh. We feel and we look. This is really good to do in the mirror. We go, book. Ah, okay. What would? All right, let's forget about the W. Let's just go would, could, cook, good, would. And then we start working and trying to bring that W together, the would. Now, for some of you, even the W is really tricky because especially for the Korean sound, it's a little bit more like ood. And it's like, how do I go with, how do I make this W sound, but it looks like my lips are going to make a M sound. Okay, let's ask. So I can do cook, cook, but I have difficulty making the W shape or sound. So if you have difficulty making that starting W, let's ask, how do I do that? So again, in this first 5 minutes, we've looked at things that would take sometimes hours for even a good English teacher to see what is going on. Straight away, the W sound requires rounding your lips, as if you're about to say, ooh. Yeah, so this is rounding the lips, but you need to make sure your tongue is relaxed, not touching the top. If you touch the tongue on the top, it becomes more like an L sound. And the beautiful thing with pronunciation is you can just start playing around with where the tongue is, where the mouth is, and then using this to go, oh my goodness, okay, I can do that one. Water, or war. And then you start making different shapes. And anyone with kids, this is really fun as well because they'll just laugh at you the whole time. But by practicing with the different shapes, eventually you will find some position and you go, oh my goodness, that was water. That was Woolworths. And then you'll lose it for the next 5 turns because that's also natural. And then you start moving the lips in a different position. Okay. So these are just some ideas. And again, I will share this all with you later for you to read and digest at your own time. Slowing down. Try saying wow, we, which, wind. Because again, W and I or W and A might be easier than WOO or WOU. Yeah, for example, watch or which blah 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 would you like? Or what do you want to watch? Oh, I can do the W for that, but why can't I do the WO? So then we slow down and start to feel what does W feel like for some words using a mirror. I did this with my students all the time. Practicing with minimal pairs. Minimal pairs is basically where you've got the sound is the same, but something else is different. Like wood, good. The back is the same, just the W and the G is different. Or wool and pull. You might be thinking like, seriously, wool and pull is the same sound? 100%. Pull. So there's pull. You can cut the P and put the W, and then you start to massage that word into place. All right. And another idea here, doing it with emphasis. So the key point is that you are now driving your learning experience. So then you go, oh my goodness, yeah, okay, David, that's fine for you because you're teaching English and you know this stuff. But what about me? I don't know what to ask to help it. So let's try it. Yeah, that's nice for you because you're a genius, but I don't know how to even make the W shape. Give me a super basic idea. Okay. So again, you are now in control of how you start your learning journey. Start with a relaxed face. As a parent of young children, how do I start with a relaxed face? But yes, it's important. A small O. Okay. Like book look. Okay, I can do that. Can I do three? Tongue relaxed. Yes, I can do that. Make a sound. Push some air out. Okay. So as you start playing with this tool, you are driving this whole experience. Okay, so we're going to jump on from pronunciation. Let's have a look at some of your writing or some more natural communication. Yeah. See, I'm very polite when I talk to ChatGPT. That's all nice. Now I'd like to move on to conversation starters. And even if you make spelling mistakes, it will understand what you're trying to say. So how do I start a conversation at the drugstore, or if you're in Australia, then pharmacy, on a topic other than the weather? Lots of English textbooks, they say talk about the weather, everything's about the weather. Okay, but like we want it to be a little bit more natural. Now, make it about you. My interests are art, sport. Oh, and also with ChatGPT, if you want to make a new line, you just press Shift and Enter. If you just press Enter, it will start the prompt. So this is a very useful technique. Just press Shift and Enter. Shift is underneath the caps lock on the left side. Art, sport, mm, paintings. Yeah, that's enough for now. Yeah. On art or sport. Okay. So when I look at art, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to say that. So I skip it. Sport. Ah, this is a good one. Because if I'm going to the gym or if I'm meeting other mummies or other dads, I'm always looking for new ways to stay active. Do you enjoy any sports or fitness? Okay, but that's a bit long. Yeah, it's like, especially if English is, you feel like you're more like a beginner or an intermediate, but we like where it's going. So we say, I like this, but it's a bit long. What do we want? Give me something more simple. Beautiful. Do you enjoy any sport or fitness? Okay, that's good. But yeah, isn't that too personal? Yeah, you might be thinking, but that's a bit personal, especially if it's a stranger. So, especially if you're new to the area, something like this might be a really good sort of icebreaker. Do you think there are any good ways to stay active around here? Or even get rid of the start? Are there any good ways to stay active around here? If you're meeting, especially if you're in a new area or a new shop, you might say, do you know any sports parks in this area? Yeah, I've got some dogs, I've got some kids. Do you know any nice parks in this area? Um, yeah, let's take that as an idea. So you're at a cafe, you see a cute dog, and you want to start a conversation. Give me basic English. Let's get rid of this other stuff. Got a lot of tools. Give me basic English to start a friendly conversation. Okay. Your dog's so cute. What's his name? Now you might be like, oh, that's so easy. Yeah, that's the point. So the idea is not to use this tool to sound super sophisticated and use big language. It's about finding ways to teach yourself how to use natural language easily. A lot of my students, when they say, oh, I want to improve my English, one of the things they are telling me is they want to use more advanced words, more complicated words. But actually, a lot of language is keeping it simple. So if you can go create some prompts, it's hard to think, what do I say right now in the situation? But you can use this. Let's say that on Saturday, you're going to your favorite cafe and you want to say something to a stranger in English. So if you like the dog one, I like that. How can I talk about the coffee? I know there are some people from Melbourne in here. So how can I talk about the coffee in Melbourne? Hmm, I should be able to spell the name of my city in Melbourne. How can I talk about the coffee in Melbourne in a friendly way? Oh my goodness, what's happening with my spelling today? Oh wow. Imagine the conversation you will have if you say this. You walk into your favorite cafe or a new cafe. I've heard Melbourne has some of the best coffee. Do you have a favorite cafe or blend? My goodness, you will have a conversation for 20 minutes and make some great connections. So if you're visiting a new city, you can use some of these and say, let's play with that. I'm going to Prague on the weekend. I like again, uh, coffee, sport. Give me some conversation starters, and then think of an environment where you might start a conversation. Give me some conversation starters for a cafe, sporting stadium, or the train station. Beautiful. So Prague is on top of my mind because I was in a new city in Czech Republic last week. So I got to, have some of these type of conversations. You see someone wearing a sports, um, maybe a beanie or a scarf. Oh, are you here for the game? What's your favorite team? Wow. Okay, making new friends instantly. Now, depending on the situation, you will just adjust the prompt. If you want to make better connections with people at work, you would ask that. Yeah, I'm starting a new job. I'm in week 5. I want to talk more naturally in the lunchroom. Give me some ideas. Yeah, anyone that started a new job, you know what it's like. It's stressful, you're nervous, especially if English is your second or third language. How's your week going so far? It's a nice, natural way instead of the typical, how are you? Or if you're in Australia, how's it going? How's your week going so far? I'm starting to get the hang of things here, but I have so much to learn. Is there anything interesting happening in your department? By using some different phrases, you will have different conversations. It also helps you feel a lot more relaxed if English is, like I say, the second or third language. Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left before Zoom will kick me off. So in the chat, can you ask me something that you really would like to learn from this session? Or you want a prompt and you want to know, well, how do I write these prompts, David? Please put it in the chat and we'll work through a couple. And then before we finish, I'll talk about what the 4-week course looks like. So Amy, how to write a prompt? Okay, we'll wait for a couple more other ideas as well. Basically, how to write a prompt, it's like, well, what do you want? Cool. So Sun, for me personally, I use the paid one because as in my work, um, I just get a lot more out of it. So I can use more of the prompts. And if I'm considering spending $20 a month, it was so easy for me to decide yes, because it's if I was learning a language, how much will I pay the tutor? Okay, I'm spending more than $100 a month, or maybe more than $100 a week. If I can keep my tutor, but also do some of this myself, then I think it easily pays for itself. Yeah, so plenty of good free services, but I personally really enjoy using the paid one. I'm not on the pro, the 200 a month. That's a little bit much for me right now, but the plus, yeah, I like that. Okay, so Hemi, we've got one from you to get better answers. Okay, so and I'll keep an eye on the chat if anyone else has other ideas as well they'd like to test. But I'll show you an example, very generic. So we'll start with a new chat. We say, help me learn English. Oh my goodness, so much information. Vocabulary, speaking, listening, writing. Okay. by asking something so general, help me learn English, we get a very general answer. But the good thing is using this type of tool, it then asks you, how would you like to start? What would you like to focus on? Vocabulary, speaking something else. So there are several ways to write good prompts. Start general and let the tool guide you where you want to go, or be very specific from the start. So in this type of interaction, I would say, I want to improve my speaking skills based on what we've talked about so far. All right, great. Gives me this daily conversation, shadowing, record yourself. Okay, that's nice. Give me some exercises to improve natural conversation. So basically, you just go deeper and deeper with what you actually want. Okay, using yes and techniques, etc., etc. So that's a way of starting from a very general question, and then the tool will ask you, okay, so what do you want? Do you want speaking, vocabulary, writing skills? So for you, if you were like more interested in improving your writing skills, then we just say that. Okay. Another way to write good prompts is to be very specific. I am replying to this email from my manager, and I want to politely disagree and suggest a new way. Now, for this situation, give me an example email, generic. Okay. Gives you an idea of what's the concern. And then it's if you see here, it's very general because the tool doesn't know what the email is about. So you can't reply. But I've used it when I had to write something where I personally felt very emotional about the topic. And when I was writing the email, it was very emotional. But that's not going to be very useful. So I jumped on here. I was like, hey, this is what they wrote. This is what I think. Give me something that's less emotional, but still. Okay, so let's wrap it up there. Today, you've learned how to write good quality prompts, how to use the tool to improve natural communication, especially with breaking the ice or talking with a stranger. And I'm going to share all of this with you that you can start now taking control of your English language journey. You'll write better prompts, you'll create your own language coach, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. If you're interested in the 4-week course, you'll get the details soon. And then please like and subscribe. Bye for now.